Have you ever felt like you were just kind of grinding and grinding, like I was saying, till no end, and you were just kind of like trying the same tactic over and over and over again, but not getting the results you want? Hey, what's up? What is going on? How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, get to have open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development. My goal is basically to kind of unite the people that, don't really have hope for themselves, or people that feel like they're just grinding and grinding to no end. They're just trying to make themselves feel better. Maybe they feel discouraged. Maybe they feel slow progress or no progress, or the people that just kind of feel distanced or alone. If that's you, if you fall into that category, then you're my type of people. And I'm happy that you stumbled upon this. If you're a brand new listener, if you're a returning listener or viewer, then thank you so much for coming back. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I guess I was gonna say how's everyone doing, but I can't ask you. I guess you can let me know if you leave a review or something, or message me somewhere. But anyways, hope you're doing well. Have you ever felt like you were just kind of grinding and grinding, like I was saying, till no end, and you were just kind of trying the same tactic over and over and over again, but not getting the results you want? Because I've kind of been there as well, and I wanted to share kind of like a funny little story that happened to me when I was a young kid. Yeah, when I was a kid, I did a lot of silly things, and I was a funny kid, as most young boys are. And, I kind of wanted to share a little story that I thought of recently. It kind of reminded me of a lot of the reasons or ways that I still think to this day. But this was just a perfect example of just kind of who my character is. So when I was a young kid, I was probably 2, 3 years old at the time. Yeah, probably around there. No, I was probably 2. I was running around and stuff, but I don't know if I was talking or anything yet. But anyways, I as a lot of young kids, I would always kind of rip off all my clothes and just run around naked. And we had this kind of jungle gym in the backyard where we'd play in the backyard, obviously, and have fun, because that's what kids do. But there was we had this kind of yeah, it's like a stereotypical jungle gym, and on one side there's like a little ladder, and then there's a little landing, like a platform, and then a slide, a little slide going off the other side. And it was pretty big. It was probably 5 feet tall, so it's pretty sweet. And we'd always play on it, and it had a couple swings. We had a swing set too. It was pretty dope, actually. Thinking back, it was so wicked. So grateful, man. That's so sick. But yeah, we used to have all those things, and yeah, I'd swing on the swing set. I'd try and jump as far as I could in the backyard there. That's where I learned how to roll around and land off of a big jump. Not that I don't think I'd be able to do that now, but that's why I was doing it. And yeah, so anyways, this slide, dude. This slide, I used to go down this slide all the time. It was so sick, especially when I was 2 years old. I was so fired up for it every single time. And I was man, I love this slide. I love this slide. I loved the slide. You have no idea. I literally loved this thing. And so one day, I guess I was bored of the slide, and I was I've done this slide so many times. I want to try and see maybe if there's another way I can have fun with this slide. And so I started again, I'm butt naked at the time, and so I'm in the backyard and I'm playing. It's probably a hot summer day, and I'm man, I'm gonna climb up this slide. Maybe it wasn't a hot summer day, because slides would get pretty hot in the summer, but it was probably a warm spring or fall day, and I'm man, I want to have some fun on this slide. But so I start trying to climb this thing, and I'm trying to climb up it. But mind you, I'm 2 years old, so it's not going so hot. And my older sister is standing on the top of the slide. And I think maybe she's going to cheer me on, like, hey, good job, like, way to challenge yourself. She's a couple years older than me, so she probably knew what was going on. And, as older sisters do, she was like, had completely different ideas. She was like, hey, I'm going to, maybe fuck with him a bit. And because I obviously fucked with her a lot as well. And so she's got like a bucket of water and she starts like pouring water down the slide. And it's like a plastic ass slide. So I'm like, every single time she pours water down the slide, I'm just slamming my face down over and over and over again. And you'd think I'd learn after like the first time or the second time. And she probably had the hose like right there as well. But she's just rinsing me. And I'm just over and over again, just falling and falling and falling, continuing to try and climb up this slide. And this is like a story that my parents will tell at like family dinners and shit. And it's just so funny to think of, like a young kid just like naked trying to climb up a slide. And then every single time, like maybe like quarter way, halfway, 3/4 of the way up, just waterfall every single time. And you just smash your head. And it's like over and over and over again. And it's so funny because it just reminds me of kind of some of the things that I go through now, where it's like sometimes you get stuck where you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you're looking for like a new result. Whether it's like kind of a routine that you've been in, or actually that's typically what it comes down to is like, if you've been stuck in a routine and things aren't changing, if the goal is to get to the top of the slide, like if you never take a second to, take a few steps back and see, oh, there's a ladder on the other side, change your perspectives up and kind of view your situation from a different angle, then you're just going to keep slamming your face over and over and over again. And, there's this, I guess it's not really a misconception because it is true to some degree. Like it is true in certain ways, like that you have to go through discomfort, you have to go through pain, right? But sometimes in life, it is kind of conducive to success to, like I said, take a new perspective towards your situation and try and think of a new strategy or new tactics to attack the situation from. Or, yeah, just kind of look at the situation a little bit differently and try and strategize maybe a different way and try and go towards the path of least resistance that will get you to where you want to go. Right? And I'm not trying to say that you got to stay in your comfort zone, because getting to where you want to go will be, it's going to require discomfort. But sometimes, like I said, sometimes we're just working and working and working, but we're not working in the right way. And you always hear about those things where you're like, oh, you got to work smarter, not harder. And that used to irritate the shit out of me because, I remember when I was in sales, I would always kind of see people that would like maybe perform better than I would, and it would make me kind of pissed off. And obviously I'm a competitive guy, and it would kind of like irk me a bit. It would kind of irritate me. And I would always think to myself, like, I'm just going to work longer than them. I'm just going to make more phone calls than them. I'm going to go and see more people. I'm going to do more, presentations. And, I would work endless amounts of hours week after week after week. And there would still be guys that would just be kicking my ass with numbers. And it would make me so frustrated. And it wasn't until I actually was humble enough to start asking other people, actually, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing so well? Like, I watch your numbers every single month, and it just pisses me off, to be honest, because I want to do those things. And I want to, obviously, make more money and help more people out, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember talking to a few different people that obviously helped me out along the way. And I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of different kind of strategies towards building a business or anything like that. I don't know if I'm like kind of the number one entrepreneur person that you should listen to, but what I am saying is it took, a second of you know, humble enough. It took enough for me, enough times of me getting pissed off for me to kind of have my ego chipped away at, over and over and over again, month after month, and just think, I'm sick of kind of doing this. Like I'm just feeling like I'm like pushing a rock up a hill that'll never reach the top, and or trying to climb up a slide when there's water coming down it. It's like climbing up a wet slide, And so, having my ego chipped away at month after month, I finally was, I wouldn't even say humble enough, because I was still kind of like jealous or envious, but I was, I guess, humble enough to ask for help and just ask for a little bit of guidance. And that was what helped me out, actually, and ended up giving me what success I had in that company. And so that's all I wanted to kind of share with you guys. It's just a short little episode, a little personal story about my childhood. And yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. Maybe that was funny. Maybe that was boring. Maybe you wanted to hear something else. But if you do, let me know. Right? You can DM me on Instagram. It'll be at the bottom of the screen down here for anyone watching. But if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this, it'll be in the show notes as well. It's at Mark D. Henriksen. I'm not sure if I said that yet or not, but that's pretty much it. So, like I said, if you are listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere you can, leave a little review, give us a rating. I say us, but it's just me, but give me a rating. Not me, but like the podcast, and that would help me out quite a bit. It would really boost me in the algorithms. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please like, subscribe, comment on this, hit the notification bell. But that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching this or listening to this. I hope you have a good day, a good evening if it's the nighttime. I don't know what time you're listening to this at, but have a good one. Much love. Peace out.